Okay, good news, we're back in the parking lot. It is swallow season, so for the bird watchers, you get a look at some swallows. These are my favorite slow speed parking lot maneuvers. None of these are going to require any types of markers or cones. That's a big drawback to a lot of the slow speed stuff that you see online. Not to talk down on anyone who does it. I recommend MotoJitsu, his channel, his app to everyone. It's fantastic. His drills, all of that are great. But I know that there's a huge percentage of people that are just never going to bring cones to a parking lot, especially the newer they are, because no one wants to be the nerd who brings cones to a parking lot on their bike that they're scared of, and then also mess it up and be in front of people and then go pack up the cones after messing up. What a disaster that is, right? So this will require no markers. This won't even require, don't even worry about the lines in the parking lot. These are simply maneuvers that I think you should go practice in a parking lot without any real concern of the boundaries that you're running, just to get better inputs on the bike and understand things. So for starters, full lock turns. These suck. These are by far the hardest slow speed thing, in my opinion. Everyone has different issues with stuff on what's the hardest. For me, it's by far the hardest. So if I mess this up, please don't laugh. And as I go through my little exercises real quick, I will give you my little tips and tricks for each. And for starters, with the full lock turns, what you do not want to do is sit dead center in your bike, because what happens is my left elbow is in my rib cage. I'm right here, right? I have no speed. I have no stability. The bike's not leaning. The second it starts to lean, because my body's in such a cramped up position, I start to kind of panic. And it's almost impossible. Doable, yes. Worth learning to do, no. So what you're going to do is you're going to move your hips opposite of the direction you're turning. So if you're turning to the right, you're going to move your hips a little bit to the left. If you're turning left, a little bit to the right. And you're going to use a lot of throttle. Okay, so don't be scared of your bike buzzing. This is a big thing. I'm a very big advocate for this, is you cannot be scared of the buzz sound of your bike. And what you're going to do is you're just going to slowly cinch it up. So let me scoot over on my seat a little bit. And then I got my rear brake going. Rear brake, clutch. And then I'm just going to start cinching up the turn. Maybe going a little too slow here. Hold on. There we go. Cinch up the turn, full lock. And get me the full turn. I think that was a full turn. I might have done two. And then we're going to come over to the right. We're going to do the same thing. This is the one that's harder for people, so do not be scared of your throttle. Cinch it up, cinch it up, cinch it up. And we're at full lock. And oh, that is so uncomfortable. I hate this so much. Jesus. Woo! There we go. Now we're at a nice little rhythm. Okay, that sucks. If you don't practice this all the time, that sucks. That sucked a lot. That sucked more than I remembered. It's very hard to do. And it takes a lot of trust in your bike, and it takes a lot of trust in yourself not to drop it. And another thing, two more things I'm going to point out here that I think are extremely relevant, is your power is not your throttle, it's your clutch. More throttle, more better. Your clutch is your power regulator. Power to rear equals stability to the bike. Okay, so if you start to fall over, you have to let out the clutch. Your instinct cannot be to pull in the clutch, because if you start to tip and you pull in the clutch, you are removing stability from the bike. Bike's going. Whether you're strong enough to save it or not, you're about to find out. Don't do that. If you start to fall, let out the clutch and the bike will stand up. Don't dump it. But that's just one little thing. So you're falling, let out clutch, straighten handlebars, you'll get going again. Second thing is, as far as the rear brake goes, I find that it helps to kind of think of it as pumping your rear brake rather than just stepping on it and keeping a steady pressure, and then focusing entirely on the clutch. You're just going to kind of use your rear brake in a way that helps maintain stability with the bike. So yeah, that's full locks. That's going to be the most difficult thing, at least for me. That was humbling. I have not done that in a long time. Next up, this is going to be slow speed figure eights. So what I mean by that is I'm going to be dragging my rear brake. I'm going to be using my clutch to regulate speed, and I'm going to be using the throttle, of course, but that's it. So I'm going to get out, and I'm just going to go do little circles, right? And you're going to see my tires slide, and you're hopefully not going to see me on the ground out here, but we're just going to go hit a circle. All right, then we go the other direction and we hit a circle, and I'm regulating speed through the clutch, not through the clutch and the rear brake, not through anything else, okay? And another key here, and I would tell you to always look up and away, so look the direction you're turning. You're gonna notice in my parking lot videos, I have a tendency to not, and it's because if you can see the road and the conditions out here, I have to make sure I don't hit anything too big or I'm going down. So, you know, that's going to be one of my more hypocritical points across all these kinds of videos. But yeah, basically just go out, focus on your head position more than anything, and just get comfortable with leaning your bike. Just go out and do big circles, okay? So circle, switch right, circle, okay, circle, and that's it. Now the next one, and this is one that I think is, I would argue, equally important to be able to do, and it's going to teach you your throttle maintenance, which is something that or your throttle control, which is something that a lot of beginner parking lot exercises don't do very well, because all parking lot slow, like true slow speed stuff, is being regulated by the clutch. And that's another little tip I should give as well, is if you are trying to do all of this in your parking lot stuff, you're making it way harder. If you go watch any of the slow speed parking lot competitions, pay attention to the right hand and watch how much movement things are, and you'll notice that their throttle hand is locked. Everything's being regulated by the clutch. Of course, when they're speeding through, they're doing the time stuff, they're going to add throttle, but what you'll notice is this hand, their throttle's not really moving. It's locked. Everything's being regulated by the clutch. This is to help you with your throttle control and maintenance. This is a horrible parking lot for this, so I'm risking skin. Wish me luck. But all it's going to be, same thing, big circles, so big wide circles in a figure eight type of deal. But I'm not going to touch my rear brake at all, and I'm not going to have any power regulation with the clutch. I am doing nothing but throttle and turning, okay? So here, you're going to see my tires slide like crazy out here. So if I wreck, I'm sorry, but your goal here is to keep a constant speed, and this is going to require a good bit of lean the faster you go. God, it's so bad out here. But this is it. So you're just going to go out and you're going to do big circles with nothing but throttle, okay? I'm not touching my rear brake at all. I'm just going and doing big circles. Then I'm going to go this direction. I'm going to slide my front some. I'm going to slide my front some more. I'm going to hopefully not wreck. And then I'm going to come out, dodge the stick. Same deal. Big circles, big circles, big circles. With my focus on head position, okay? Head position, looking where I want to go. And then, of course, my throttle. So I want to be able to keep a throttle steady. So if, can I get to 20? I'm not going to get to 20 out here. I'm sorry. I might die. Look at the, Jesus Christ. We'll get to 18. This is already pushing my luck. But you're trying to keep your speed as steady as possible out here. Well, I can't do it. It's too fast. I'm sliding so bad, it's crazy. Get a better parking lot and just go do big circles, do figure eight formations, and no throttle or no clutch, no rear brake, and just get comfortable with leaning. The faster you go, the more you're going to have to lean. And just your main focus is going to be keeping your throttle steady as the handlebars move and as you learn to ride your bike, because something that a lot of people struggle with is throttle control. They really struggle with throttle control. Now, next up, this is going to be front brake. This is going to incorporate front brake, and it's going to be stopping mid-turn. Okay, you're just going to go. You're going to basically do the same thing you were doing with those figure eights. You're going to do nothing but throttle. You're going to turn, and then you're going to, from that turn, stop. So you're going to touch your front brake only. We're not going to touch our rear, and we're going to pull in our clutch. We're going to basically pull in our clutch at the same time we start pulling in our front, and the bike is going to stand up, and we're going to come to a nice clean stop. Do not grab your front brake. Do not punch it. We're simply coming to a nice clean stop by progressively pulling on the front brake. So what that's going to look like is we're turning. I'm going to reach for my front, pull, easy. Okay? This one looks a little mind-numbing, but I promise this will help you. So pull in clutch, front brake, and stop. I'll slide around some more. Get past. There's a really bad patch over here that's not really visible. So turn, stop. Okay, and work on with this. Your main goal really is to get comfortable with adding and taking away the inputs. So taking away throttle, pulling in the clutch, and pulling in the front brake. No rear brake here. So we turn, and I'm going to try and stop as quick as possible. Okay, that's your goal. You want to get to where you can add front, and you notice how much my suspension dove there. Don't do that if you don't know your limits with your bike yet. But try to work up to that. Work to where you can add a good amount of front brake and slowly, progressively pull it in. The bike will stand up. It's going to make you safer in corners. It's going to make you safer on the street, especially if you live in an area with a bunch of blind corners. Being able to brake while turning is extremely important. Now, the next one, this is going to be throttle, clutch, and front brake again. And it's going to be, you get up, so you're going to go whoop, and you're going to just take off, and then you're going to do an emergency stop. Okay, you're not going to get as slow as you feel comfortable getting, and then take off again. Don't put your feet on the ground. So all that's going to be is you get up and go, front brake, stop, go, stop, go, and so on. What this will do is, one, it'll show you, and it'll really help you kind of learn how your what's it called? It's a windowless van. Let's hope we make it out of here. But it's going to help you better understand the way your suspension's reacting from adding front brake and then adding throttle. Okay, it's going to teach you the trade-off between the two. So that's something that's very important for learning how, like, suspension management essentially is going to be go, off throttle, brake, off brake, throttle. Okay, those are two things. There are two inputs that you want to use separately, and learning how to do that is very important. So again, we take off, brake, go, brake, go. And of course, that'll help you with your clutch, because it'll help you get more confident with taking off. That's one that I tell everyone one of the first things they should go do in a parking lot when they're learning to ride is do that hard stop, take off, hard stop, take off, take off, hard stop, take off, hard stop, take off, hard stop. It will make you feel so much better with everything, because taking off is something that a lot of people struggle with too, especially when it comes to adding the clutch and not having to really kind of, think really hard, and we do this and we stall it. Okay, like a lot of people do. You're gonna have to learn. It's gonna really help you learn to launch better, because you're already moving. You get a little more flexibility, and it's also going to help you with, again, off throttle, front brake, off front brake, throttle. Okay, these are our patterns on a bike. We're either throttle, front brake, off throttle, off front brake, throttle. those are the typical, that's how you're going to learn to operate your bike. Anyway, hopefully these little demonstrations, I left one off. I made a video on this one before. Last one's going to be just turtle racing. This is just going to be basically going as slowly as you can. This will help you better understand stability. You're going to have to be comfortable with getting to full locks if you want to be really moving at this. On this bike, I can hit 0 miles per hour. Anyway, turtle racing is super underrated. I have a whole nother video on that one. That is something that I also believe everyone should do, because it's going to make you feel much more in control of your bike and just all of your movements together. It'll make things feel more fluid as you get going. But yeah, hopefully this will help someone, somewhere, some way. Any critiques, anything, if you have anything specific about slow speed stuff, please ask. Again, Motojitsu, his channel, his drills, I highly recommend. I'm not affiliated in any way, but I do highly recommend his stuff and his drills. And if you're willing to go get cones and practice in a parking lot, that is better than what I'm offering here. But let's be realistic. Most people are not. So hopefully these will give you some ideas to do in a parking lot with no markers, no nothing, and get better on your bike. So thank you.